And this is something we all do, pop the hatch of the back of the car, place stuff inside. But that's when a suspect took advantage of those precious seconds, taking off with 2 children still buckled in the back seat. So if someone does try to snatch it, it makes it harder for them to get away with. Right now, we still don't know what caused this fire, but I can tell you fire crews are still here on scene. I want to take your attention to the left side of this home. This is the area where fire crews have been concentrated. The State Department of Transportation tells me they collect between 500 to 800 deer within a year span. And as you can see, it's starting to wind down a little bit, but I want to just show you just how much snow has actually accumulated. Another peaceful protest here in downtown Greensboro. It was all done for this man, his life, his legacy, George Floyd. You can see there's a portrait and memorial set up in his honor. They're saying no justice, no peace, hands up, don't shoot. This is a very diverse crowd. I'm gonna start walking this way so you can just see this. I'm actually standing in a driveway just yards away from Latham Park. Council members say they've received numerous calls, emails, and letters, all on the topic of this Confederate monument.
I started driving through here. I couldn't see him no more, so I was just trying to picture which way he would have went.
Luis Arroyo jumped into action when he heard another father in distress in the parking lot of this Academy Sports and Outdoor store in Burlington.
And I looked over to my right, and there was a man screaming that his kids were in the car and his car was stolen.
Once Luis realized what happened Wednesday night, he jumped into his car without hesitating, rushing toward the SUV with 2 kids inside.
Yeah, he was going really fast. He was going around like, I'll say 40, 50 miles an hour.
Luis was driving fast too, trying to catch up with the suspect.
Yeah, if a cop would have been out there, he probably would have pulled me over.
The children's mother told us her husband picked her up in front of the store and they stepped to the back of the vehicle to load some items. In less than 5 seconds, a man hopped into the driver's seat and took off with their 9 and 10-year-olds still inside.
And he jumped right in the front and just drove off.
The kids jumped out of the moving SUV near International Drive, not far from Holly Hills Mall, when the suspect slowed down to make a turn. That's where Luis spotted them.
The kids, I was like, get in. They were all scared, and they were like, no, we just got our car robbed. And I was like, well, I know your dad. And they were like, we don't believe you. And I was like, your dad's bald and he's pretty big. So they jumped in the car. They're like, yeah, that's my dad.
He drove the kids back to the shopping center.
Oh my God, there's my kids, there's my kids. Okay, y'all are safe. That is all that matters. The car, I don't care about the car.
Frequent shoppers in the area were shocked to know something like this even happened.
When you hear something like someone stealing a car from somebody in a parking lot, I don't think of Burlington that way.
But it did happen, and this family is grateful for Luis' fast actions and bravery.
If I had my little girl in the car and someone decided to take my car, you know, I would hope that somebody would come to the rescue and save her.
Made himself at home. Yeah.
Jeff Fryer woke up last Tuesday and thought the stranger he saw inside of his home was all a dream.
Walked down here and was walking downstairs, and my bedroom door to my son's room was open, and just kind of looked in there and saw a guy curled up on the floor. No shirt on, blue jeans.
But that dream quickly turned into a scary reality.
So yeah, just stood here and stared for a minute and collected myself. My heart was racing like crazy.
In one of his bedrooms, he discovered a man he'd never seen before.
He had a tattoo on his back and of a skull.
He ran outside, rushed over to his neighbor's house, and called police. This is cell phone video of the man, Michael Lee, who officers took into custody that same morning, now charged with several counts of felony breaking and entering.
Because he came in from the path, had mud on his shoes, and then tried to get in the neighbor's house first, and then kind of just bounced over and was just hitting the next opportune house.
Jeff says he was busy the night before preparing to move since his house is up for sale and forgot to lock the back door. When the burglar got inside, Jeff says he got comfortable as if it was his own home.
So he came in through here and got a drink out of the fridge, and he only took a couple of drinks out of it and had it sitting on the counter. I had a charger here, and he took the charger and plugged his phone in, and it's sitting right here.
He says he's grateful he saw the man before he noticed him, and it's a strange encounter he will never forget.
I haven't heard any story or explanation as far as why he was over in this area, but Yeah, it's just kind of a mystery.
You couldn't have told me in a million years I was going to get that phone call that my son was laying in the hospital fighting for his life.
Fighting for the chance to live after a serious car accident back in August of 2018, Devonta Chappelle is what some would call a miracle.
At one point in time, they thought I wasn't going to make it.
He was involved in a single vehicle crash on Interstate 40 on his way to Winston-Salem in the early hours of August 20th. It was raining hard and his car hydroplaned and hit a tree.
He is definitely in a very, very rare occasion to group that would survive the injuries that he's had.
Dr. Martin Avery specializes in acute care surgery at Wake Forest Medical. He was one of the surgeons on the team the morning Devonta was rushed to the hospital.
He had quite a few additional injuries instead of not just a traumatic brain injury. He had a cervical spine injury, he had injuries to his lungs to the point where he was not able to oxygenate and breathe on his own.
That's a big transformation. Like, I made a big recovery.
Devonta 100% healed from his wounds.
Hey, your scars will always be your memories, but they don't have to be bad memories.
And walking alongside part of the team that played a role in his recovery and physical therapy.
And of course, there were thoughts at that time whether or not he was going to make it, and then to reach the point where he's able to live a fulfilled life. It's an amazing story.
But Devonta's story doesn't just stop at his car accident. He now works in the food and nutrition department of the same hospital where he received treatment.
Coming back to where he was struggling to live, and now he's living out his life working here and seems to be fully recovered, which is just amazing.
A recovery he credits to his faith and the doctors who saved his life.
They see me at my worst. So for them to see me how I look now, they just be like, oh my God, you look so amazing. You're such a blessing. You're a miracle, a walking miracle. And they always say, you got a story to tell, so share it.
And sharing consists of telling his story of survival with patients who are on the brink of losing hope.
If I can share with a patient, then maybe that might, like I said, give them hope.
You don't often see them during the recovery and the best time, and I just want to thank him for reaching out, because it definitely made my day, year, career. It's just very, very rewarding and very, very grateful to see him.
They saved my baby. I mean, I will forever, I love them for that.